The story begins with the protagonist explaining that ghost spirits previously only appears in supernatural incidents. Some are harmless and some are evil. 100 years ago, ghost spirit greatly increased and started to kill humans for joy. Humans' number has decreased, struggling to survive, until Ghost Master appeared. They has ghost power potential and can fight with scary ghost spirits and evil spirit controller. Every ghost will bind with the contractor with a special item known as ghost token, but has to be picked by a ghost to enter the academy and become a Ghost Master candidate. At present, in Lu's City 2nd Ghost Master Academy, the protagonist was nervous as today is the Summon Spirit ceremony and he is about to summon companion ghost. In case someone failed, their entire life is doomed and they can only be the city's child producer. A normal children in this world needs to reproduce at least 10 children before the age of 30. That's still okay, but if one fails the ceremony and it goes out of control, one might die. This 15-year-old boy, Lin Feng, is the protagonist of the story, who is a Ghost Master's Academy student. 10 years ago, his parents left him to die since he picked a weak ghost aura's token. Everyone around him makes fun of him and called him a trash for picking a trash token. But one day, Lin fights back and beat all of them. Back at present, he was thinking that only when he becomes stronger, he won't get bullied, so he must succeed in today's Summon Spirit ceremony. A strange man came and introduced himself as their examiner for the Summon Spirit ceremony. The other students realized that this examiner is the Ghost Master Association leader. He tells everyone to take out their ghost tokens and generate their mental spirit on the token. Lin looked at his token and wondered, a ghost token that looks like this, can it even summon a ghost spirit? The examiner said, after a long period of pregnancy, today is the day they will summon the ghost spirit. Suddenly, a student starts shouting as he saw a lot of blood coming out of his bowl. Another girl shouted that her token is also reacting. It's so hot, while Ling thought, why isn't his reacting? The examiner tells everyone to be silent and explained that under his ghost aura's pressure, their token seems to have a reaction, so it has been awakened. The other students were giving it their all, as they didn't want to be a normal human. The examiner announced those who didn't have their spirit reacted, means their companion has died, so they can leave the class. A student shouted at him that he is not even a human, so why should they listen to him? Lin knows this paper-made man is controlled by the Ghost Master to be a substitute, but the main issue he has is that his ghost companion is not reacting. The guy from earlier makes fun of him by saying, as expected of someone who came from the orphanage, he is just trash. Lin was staring at him, but the student tells him to be careful as a mere reproducer can't beat up a future Ghost Master. He then gets in front and tells the other students to get lost quickly as they are all trash. A student gets angry and shouted he will beat him senselessly, but before he could reach him, the examiner sucked all his energy, and the boy collapsed. Lin saw the boy and realized that this is the power of a Ghost Master. The examiner then announced those who have a ghost companion aren't on the same level as the others anymore, so the others can get lost. Ling gets up and left the classroom, thinking if he is really just trash. Everyone inside the class gets happy after being able to summon their ghosts. But then, the fat boy from before shouted for help as his ghost was trying to possess him. Everyone panics and shouted his ghost companion is an evil ghost spirit and he got possessed by it. The fat boy then starts attacking the other students while they were running away from him. Lin was watching the whole scene and thought, if the examiner is not interfering, this means that he wants to use the evil spirit to test the students. The fat boy then noticed Lin and dashed toward him to attack. He jumped at him, and as he was about to kill Lin, Lin heard a voice saying, Ghost Companion Aura Movement System activated. And then a girl gets summoned before him and formed a Ghost Companion contract. Lin looked at the white dress girl and wondered if she is his ghost companion. The system said, Ghost Spirit Summoning Mission completed. Items and rewards will automatically get stored inside the inventory. While Lin was thinking that she is cute, the system notified him that his spirit can be upgraded. One ghost spirit pill is required, so does he wish to continue? His spirit was on F rank, so Lin knows that it cannot defeat the other spirit, so he said yes to the upgrade. He then gets surprised to see that along with his spirit, his body got strengthened by 30% too. Even his hearing and sight all have increased a lot. He gets a mission to name his spirit, as it allows him to communicate better with his ghost companion. Lin remembered someone from the past and decides to name her Tong Tong. The fat spirit gets angry and released his power. The examiner tells the other students to stay behind him, as this D-rank spirit is going into berserk mode. Lin thought Tong's skill is still uncertain, so letting her deal with the D-rank spirit is too risky. Even if he becomes a ghost master, he still has to rely on himself, and then he dashed toward the evil spirit. Now that his sight and reaction time got better, he dodged the evil spirit's attack and hit him with the chair. But the spirit laughed and was about to kill Lin, when his sword got stopped by Tong. Tong activated her evil mode and destroyed the evil spirit weapon. Lin and the examiner couldn't believe that Tong get into a second state. Tong then easily defeated the D-rank spirit. The system updated, the first battle completed. He has killed a D-rank evil spirit, ghost experience increased by 80, and obtained 1 ghost spirit pill. Lin thought it levels up differently from how the teacher taught, but the reward is fabulous. Now that the danger is resolved, Tong Ghost Aura auto returns to the token. The other students realize that Lin is strong enough to kill a D-rank spirit, so they have to follow him in the future. The examiner praised Lin, saying he is very talented and courageous. Compared to him, the others are just cowards. He said, since the ceremony is over, from today onwards, they all are Ghost Master's trainee. The examiner looked at Lin and thought, his first summon is an E-rank ghost spirit, and it easily exceeds its rank. So who in the world Lin Feng really is? Meanwhile, Lin was thinking of nurturing Tong, and swears to become the strongest ghost master and stand above all. After a while, in Liu City's inner old area, Lin was in his room and summoned Tong. And as expected of a ghost spirit, when it appeared, the surrounding temperature decreased by quite a lot. He praised Tong that she did great today, but she didn't respond to him. Lin wondered if Ghost doesn't have consciousness, or is that she is weak tight now and need to level up more to gain consciousness. The system notified that he talked with Tong for over 5 minutes, so he gained 5 spirit experience and 1 companion favorability. He checked Tong's status and thought her evil mode is very special since he never heard about it before. Lin decides to not use the spirit pill for the upgrade so he can prevent unwanted attention. The first step is that he needs to understand how the system works, like ways to obtain experience. He gained experience by even patting her head, even though he can't touch her body. He tried to teach her and gained experience for that as well. Even watching movies, doing daily activities, gave him the spirit experience and favorability. In the whole day, he earned 50 ghost spirit experience and 10 companion durability, and then he went to sleep. He was not able to sleep, thinking, even though Ghost doesn't need to sleep, but he feel weird this way. Then the next day, at the academy gate, everyone was talking about how he easily defeated a D-rank spirit. A teacher tells every student to get on a bus. Inside, there were ghost spirits, but since Tong was not reacting, so he realized that they won't have any threat. There was a ghost beside him, so everyone wondered, why is he so calm? The teacher tells everyone to stop being scared and shocked. He said, the outer city is full of ghost spirit, but these are ghost spirits with no evil aura, so just ignore them and learn to interact and live with them. They reached the city gate number 4, where the teacher showed his identification to go outside. Everyone gets surprised to see the rumored gold wall that prevents ghosts from passing through the city wall. After traveling for a while, they reached their destination, the outer city. The students were talking, there really are many ghosts in the outer city, and then wondered why there are this many workers and they all are middle-aged men. Lin said, above age 40, those that don't have reproductive value can only come here and do physical work. Then they all heard the examiner's voice that they met again. He explained that the course is of 3 months and tells everyone to collect the map and coordinate tracker, then find that building area to find a place to stay. He said that all homes have sealed ghost spirits, so those who can defeat it can own that house. They can select their target and team up to defeat it, and can defeat it alone to have the house for themselves. This is their first test. He added that the larger the house, the stronger the ghost spirit. The strongest difficulty is the mansion, so those who want to live in the mansion can try it, and they have only 1 day. The system gave a new task to Lin, that he has to obtain a house by himself, and the reward is between 100 to 1000 ghost spirit, depending on the house size. A beautiful girl approached Lin and asked if he wants to team up with them. She used her womanly charms on him to make him say yes, but to her surprise, he refused, saying he wanted to have a house all to himself. The girl was feeling embarrassed, as she hadn't been rejected by any male in her life before. One guy calls him arrogant and said he is going in the wrong direction, as that place is the mansion area. After a while, Lin reached the mansion area and thought, the ghost aura there is different than others. He asked an old man, how can he enter the mansion, but the man tells him to go back and find other area. He said, these few mansions were indeed prepared for students, but it's been 10 years, no one has moved in before. Lin asked if no one dared to try it before, but the old man replied, there were few brave ones who tried, but they all died. He said, the mansions have C-rank evil spirits, that even the official ghost master might not be able to single-handedly defeat it. Lin thought, Tong is an E-rank ghost spirit, 2 rank differences is indeed risky, but the saved experience can be used now. He then used the ghost spirit pill and upgraded Tong. She is now at D rank, and his body also got strengthened by 80%. He starts walking towards the mansion, while the old man tried to stop him. Lin was thinking, if D rank Tong enters her evil mode, then her combat ability should be at C rank. He entered the mansion and start looking for the C rank evil spirit. He noticed the spirit above the staircase, so he ran towards it. But when he reached above, the spirit was not there anymore. He heard the chopping sound, so he wondered if the spirit is hiding in the kitchen. He was hearing sounds of chopping vegetables and maid carrying plates, but when he opened the door, there was nothing inside. Suddenly, someone attacked him from behind, but Tong appeared and saved him in time. As Tong followed the spirit outside the kitchen, another spirit attacked Lin, but he managed to dodge the attack. He gets surrounded by 3 spirits, so he wondered where all these spirits came from. He knows that he can't withdraw his ghost spirit in the middle of a battle, so he escaped them and ran outside. Luckily, his body got strengthened, and his speed has also become faster. But to his surprise, the spirits got vanished, so he wondered if they only appear when he enters the room. He tested by just putting his foot inside and realized that these clothes ghosts aren't its main body, but the evil spirit ability. He understands that because of the area restriction, it is trying all kinds of methods to lure him to the 2nd floor. And then he realized that Tong is in danger right now. He went running and tells Tong to come out of the room since it's a trap. He then noticed a ghost behind him and thought, if this ghost can freely move around, then it must be the main body. He used his dagger and slashed the ghost spirit in half, but to his surprise, his gold dagger has no effect at all. He steps inside the room and gets to know that it's also a cloth ghost, not the main body. But then the other ghosts charge at him since he was now inside their room. He used his spirit token to summon back Tong, and then he ran away from there. He jumped down to save his life, but accidentally fall in the basement. And when he was thinking that C-rank evil spirit is hard to deal with, he saw Tong defending him from something. He then finds the main body of the C-rank spirit, which is unable to move, and it devours souls to become stronger and is able to insert soul energy into objects to control it. It attacked him and Tong starts cutting its tentacles. She then gets injured by it, so Lin came in front of her to protect her. He then get caught by the spirit and was dragged by it. Tong tried to save him while he was wondering if he is going to be killed. Outside, the old man tells the examiner that a student named Lin Feng went in alone and it's been 10 minutes, so he must be dead by now. The examiner dashed inside the mansion to save Lin. Lin was on the brink of death, and Tong then activated her evil mode to save him. She dragged him out of the evil spirit and hugs him. The examiner noticed that they are in the basement, so he went to save them. But to his surprise, Tong killed the C-rank spirit instantly, and then she returned to his token. He received 1,000 experience points and 1 ghost spirit potential for killing a C-rank evil spirit. The examiner then vanished and returned to his owner. A butler addressed someone as guild leader and asked if she discovers something during the ghost spirit master test. She replied yes, a young boy called Lin Feng has a unique spirit that has 2 mode, and the 2nd mode got crazy combat ability. The butler said to be able to obtain such a ghost spirit, this kid sure is lucky, but she said it's not that simple with his potential. It is possible that he is a physics constitution. The butler gets shocked because the physic constitution are always sent to headquarters after they are born, and the Liu city has no rights to nurture it. Physics constitution, people with talent, able to tame many ghost spirits. During the beginning of the chaotic era, only people with physics constitution could become ghost spirit master, but they didn't live for long. They either died in the hands of the stronger ghost, or got devoured by evil ghost spirit. Some even became ghosts themselves. After 100 years, using blood, sweat, and tears, people with physics constitution finally found safe ways to nurture themselves. Back at present, Lin came out of the mansion and meet the old man again. The man congrats him on passing and obtaining a mansion at the age of 15. He gives him the key and tells him to go to the floor and register. After a while, in the common area, the other students were talking about a girl who managed to get a noble house. They thought she must be very strong, as it took 5 of the students to group together to get one. The receptionist called Lin Feng's name and asked him to show his key. He then gets shocked and shouted he killed an evil mansion spirit. Everyone gets shocked and wondered, how can a student beat a C-rank evil spirit alone? The man then registered Lin and congratulates him, saying he is the first ghost spirit master under 20 to live in a mansion. He then gave 10,000 credit points to him as living fees and said, for the next 3 months, he must earn by himself from doing missions. The girls there said they only have 3,000 points and they still need to split it with teammates, while one wondered if she can live in a mansion if she become his girlfriend. After a while, Lin summoned Tong and praised her while saying, let's go shopping. And to his surprise, this time, Tong responded by nodding. After a while, they reached Suzaka Street to do some shopping. Lin was thinking, even though he won a mansion and 10,000 points, he still need to try and save some money, so he decides to spend around 1,000. He then gets shocked to know that just a bed sheet needs 800 points, and the shopkeeper said, the city is facing a shortage of goods, so many items have risen in price. Lin said, never mind then, as it's actually hot these days. But then he gets surprised to see Tong, who bought a lot of tissues and rolls. Even though they were a lot, Lin bought them for Tong. She then bought a bunch of snacks, then a lot of clothes, and a lot of weapons as well. Above all, even the system asked him to pay 500 credit points to increase his inventory storage. In the evening, while he was returning, he used up 9174 credit points on shopping and has only 826 remaining. Lin was thinking, although it hurts him to buy too much, other side Tong seems very happy, and favorability also increased by a lot. After returning to his mansion, Lin decides to check the missions as they need to earn credit points, or they will run out of money soon. The association requires them to complete 12 missions in 3 months, but the F-rank missions have only around 2,000 points, so he decides to check the medium rank. He checked the list and thought they are not bad, as the rewards are high and it can help leveling up too. But to his surprise, someone took all the missions, there was just one remaining, so he quickly accepted it. Then the next day in Food City, Lin arrived there to complete the mission. He reached the Food City handling area and informed the members that he is there to investigate the matter of missing food. One man tells him the way to reach the mountain cave, as the food is stored there. He added that this ghost is hard to find, so he might have to stay there for a few days. After Lin left, the other guy asked his friend, can this boy even do it? So the man replied, if he is seeking death, then all they can do is let him do it his way. After traveling for a while, Lin finally reached at the food storage entrance. One of the guards asked Lin if he is there to deal with the ghost, and he replied yes. They reached inside and the guard said, the hunger ghost doesn't harm people, but it's a ghost that eats a lot. Recently, a ghost spirit master came, but once human came in, it disappears, thus they can't find it at all. Lin summoned Tong and asked if she can feel the ghost's aura. She activated her evil mode, and this time, a third eye appears on her forehead. Lin looked at her eye and wondered if she got a new ability. Tong was looking at the entrance, so Lin wondered if the ghost is outside. But then she points at a guard, which shocked him. And to everyone's surprise, his pocket started shaking. Lin realized that the hunger ghost was hiding in his pocket all this time. The guard then gets possessed by the hunger ghost, so Lin kicked him in the face. The ghost dashed towards Lin to kill him, but Tong grabbed him by his neck and then put her hand inside his mouth. She then took out the spirit from the guard's body, and it dashed at Lin and the other guard. They find themselves in a dark place and Lin realized that they are in ghost territory. It is a personal space created by the ghost, can be controlled by it, and once entered, it will prevent other people's sight from the outside. The ghost then grabbed the guard and devoured him. Lin tried to save him, but the ghost started eating his leg as well. He attacked it with his gold dagger to save himself, but the ghost was about to bite his leg off. Suddenly, he noticed Tong's hands grabbing its mouth, and then she tore it apart, thus saving him. The system informed him about the rewards, and this time he obtained a skill called Devour Talent. Tong returned back to her first form, and Lin pats her head to praise her. After a while, he returned back and the guys makes fun of him, asking if he become a coward and came back with his tail between his legs. But to their surprise, Lin said he already killed the evil spirit. Their senior arrived and informed them that the elimination is true as the storage's ghost aura is gone. The man apologized to Lin for not recognizing his power and said his credit points will be delivered to his account shortly. Then later at night, Lin received his credit points, and the system gave him a mission in which he will need to turn her spirit into C rank, and the reward will be the ghost territory for Tong. Zhu thought today's hunger ghost was relatively weak amongst C rank, so its ghost territory was weak. But if they were to encounter a high-level ghost, they might face casualties. He thought to increase Tong's level in 3 days, he need to pick a bunch of D rank missions. Then the next day, some members were talking about how all the D rank missions are getting stolen the moment they come out. They wondered, if it's the same group, then how can they handle it so quickly? Lin and Tong were easily defeating the D rank ghosts and were raising their levels and earning credit points at the same time. In just 2 days, they completed more than 20 D rank missions and Tong reached the C rank, obtained ghost territory, and Lin's body got strengthened by 2 times. Meanwhile, in Lu City's second defense line's random deserted mountain, some ghost spirit masters saw a ghost territory in the middle of the mountain. They were all B rank masters, so they decided to go inside and kill this evil spirit, thinking the ghost drops will be a lot. They went inside and start searching for the boss and the treasures, but couldn't find any of them. They went inside a room and get scared after seeing something, but to their relief, it was just a red dress on a cloth hanger. Their leader checked the dress and said, "This thing is weird." One member added, if there was a ghost, then their spirits would have reacted, so maybe it's hiding outside. While they were leaving, one member shouted, "It's here." He points at the mirror and said, "That ghost is hidden inside it." They tried to summon their spirits, but their ghost spirits were not responding. The leader realized that this is a rare ghost territory, which is able to conceal the sense between ghost spirits, so they shouldn't have entered there. They tried to run away, but the ghost locked them inside. She appeared behind them and then killed them all. The next morning, the other spirit masters arrived and investigate the scene. The leader said they followed it for half a month and finally it appeared. She added that it specializes in running and hiding. They only know it's looking for something, as it came all the way from High City to Lu City. She then used her ability to make 3 more papermen and ordered the other members to continue pursuing it, and also tell everyone to not go out of the city. The next day, Lin was saying that recently there are more C rank missions. Previously, those were all snatched. He wondered what happened to all the ghost spirit masters, but then he shook his head and said, since he is already outside, he should earn more and test out Tong's new ability. He accepted the C rank mission of eliminating the fruit forest's murdered evil spirit. He reached the location and found a body hanging on a tree, so he thought it must be a farmer's corpse. Half an hour later, Lin finds it strange that even after walking straight, he returned back to the starting point, where farmer's corpse was hanging. He looked back and gets shocked, as there are now more than 10 corpses of the same farmer. Lin realized that even though this looks like the fruit forest, it might be a ghost territory that he entered. He saw a branch attacking him, so he tried to block it, but it passed through his hand. It strangles his neck, but before it could kill Lin, Tong appeared and saved him. The corpses there start moving, so Lin figures that this ghost can control the corpses as well. He ordered Tong to kill all the corpses, and she easily killed them all. For winning the battle, he got 600 spirit experience, 5 favorability, and 1 ghost spirit pill. He also obtained a ghost spirit item, the damaged ghost rope. Lin thought it was killed so quickly as it didn't even activate Tong's ghost territory. But luckily, he obtained some items, so Lin thought that he can earn a lot of money if he sell them in the market. Meanwhile, in Lu City's outer area, there were rumors of a strong ghost who killed many strong spirit masters. They also talked about a newbie called Lin Feng, who obtained a mansion on the first try of the house distribution exam, so they thought he is a physics constitution. 2 masters were hearing this and muttered that Lin can't be a physic constitution. There is just one thing, that his ghost spirit's potential is extremely high. One of them said if they can secretly kill him and obtain his ghost spirit, then they will be rich. Then later at night, in the ghost master's residence area, the 2 spirit masters were outside Lin's mansion, where a boy informed them that he is out on a mission. One of them said he is just a trainee, yet he dares to go out of the city and complete mission, so the boy said he is not a normal person. His spirit is almost C rank. He asked why are they looking for him, but the guy said it's nothing, and then they left. The 2 men then decide to leave the city and hunt Lin down. The senior laughed and said after killing him, he will use his shroud bag to capture his ghost spirit and sell it for a few million. The next morning, Lin woke up and asked Tong if she was guarding outside for the whole night. She blushed after looking at him, so he pats her head and praised her. He then connects the signal of his tracking device to find more C-rank missions. He then received several messages that there is a strong evil spirit outside, so all the ghost masters went back to the city. There was also a message from his classmate that 2 weird men of around age 30 were looking for him, and they went out of the city after hearing that he is there. Lin understand that there is someone who wants to hurt him, and if they are around 30 years old, then they should be C or B rank hunters. He thought they won't be able to find him, but then a thought crossed his mind. The outer city has a strong evil spirit, so if they really dare to come out of the city, then they must be capable of finding him. He checked the mission panel and realized that these last few days, other than him, no one has picked up any E rank or higher mission. The system rule is, once a mission is picked, it will instantly disappear from the mission panel, so they will likely be wiping their device continuously. Once the mission is accepted, other people will be able to swipe their device and see that mission description. After knowing that Lin accepted the mission, they will quickly go and camp there to ambush him. Lin then accepted a mission of eliminating an evil spirit at Xiao Feng Mountain. But instead of going towards Xiao Mountain, he went in the direction of Quarry. He reached Quarry and thought the association never set the rule that he can't do the mission before accepting it. Meanwhile, the guys found that Lin is going towards the Xiao Feng Mountain, so they quickly ran towards the mountain, thinking they can reach there faster than him. They arrived at Xiao Feng Mountain and hide inside a temple to ambush Lin. Meanwhile, inside the Quarry cave, Lin killed the evil spirit. He then went to the residence area to collect the reward, but the guard was saying that no one accepted the mission yet. Lin accepted the mission and asked the guard to check it again. He checked the mission list, and it really was accepted. Meanwhile, in Xiao Feng Mountain, one of the guys said that another mission disappeared at a quarry area, so he tells his friend to stay there and wait for Lin while he will go and see who accepted the mission. He tells him that if he discovers Lin Fang's trace, then don't attack him and message him first. 2 hours later, the man arrived at the quarry resident area where the guard tells him that a 15 to 16-year-old boy completed the mission. The man grabbed his collar and asked when did he leave and where did he head off to. Scared, the guard points in the direction and said just a while ago he walked this path. After the guy left in a hurry, the guard texted someone while thinking, this kind of trash attitude isn't supposed to be a ghost master. Lin received the message, saying, just as he expected, a middle-aged ghost master came looking for him and just left in a hurry. Some hours ago, Lin gave 5,000 credit points to the guard for sharing the information of any guy who will come looking for him. At present, Lin thought the plan is successful. One person is chasing after him from the quarry, which means they have split it up. He smiled, thinking that man must be waiting for him to accept the mission. He has already killed another ghost, and then he accepted the mission to attract the ghost master. One of them will follow him to the Cold Waters cave, while he will return to the Feng Mountain and kill the other guy. Meanwhile, the guy informed his partner that Lin is in Cold Water cave, so he is going after him. Lin was quickly going towards Xiao Feng Mountain, thinking since they are after his life, then they shall pay with their lives. Suddenly, Tong came out of his token and covered him inside her field. Lin then noticed an evil spirit in the sky, moving at a high speed. He realized that this was Tong's new skill, and she used it to hide his presence. The system said Tong awakened Ghost Territory additional ability called Ghost Stealth. Also, he obtained a lucky draw chance. The system then showed him a wheel with different skills on it, so Lin decides to try it out. After spinning the wheel, he got the skill called Ghost Artifact Repair, which can repair and upgrade ghost artifacts. The repair ability directly formed inside his brain, and this method requires Tong's help. He takes out the damaged ghost rope that he obtained after killing the rope ghost. And with the help of Tong, he successfully repaired the damaged rope. The system tells him the use of the rope, that he can use it for binding ghosts. Lin gets happy, thinking it might be useful in the upcoming combat. Suddenly, he heard someone calling him brat, so he turned around. They were the ghost masters, who are investigating the red dress ghost. A girl said he must be a ghost master trainee, so has he seen a red, but then she said never mind, because if he really saw it, he wouldn't have survived. She tells him that the outer city is very dangerous, so if he doesn't want to die, then he should return back to the city. After they left, Lin thought, even Tong is afraid of that red light, and why is it chased by the Ghost Master Association's members? He understands that red light is the reason for sealing the city, and luckily, he is heading in a different direction. Meanwhile, in the 1st Defense Area training camp, the leader was shocked to see the reports of the dead masters, as they all died before even summoning their spirits. She then gets a message from her team that the ghost is heading to Xiao Mountain's southwest district. They also informed her about a young Ghost Master trainee who still hasn't returned to the city, so informed the school to notify the students. Later at night, Lin was hiding behind a tree, thinking where the other Ghost Master is hiding. He thought, to ambush him, they must occupy the best view spot, so it must be over there. The guy called his friend and said that brat Lin Feng still hasn't come, and his hand is so itchy. Lin was above him, waiting for him to disconnect the phone, while the guy said the buyer gave 700,000 before they even showed him the ghost spirit. Lin gets angry after hearing, not only do they want to kill him, but also want to sell his ghost spirit. And as soon as the call disconnected, Tong attacked the guy. The guy quickly summoned his cat-face C-rank spirit, and it attacked Tong. The guy jumped back, but finds Lin behind him with a dagger, and then he stabbed him. The cat-face ghost unleashed his ghost territory to save his master. Inside the territory, there were a lot of cats, who started attacking Lin and Tong. But then, Tong activated her own ghost territory and killed them all. Lin calls Tong a kid, as her ghost territory is an amusement park. Even though it only has toys and fun stuff, Lin finds it scary. And then, all of the toys become alive and attack the Ghost Master and his spirit. The cat-faced spirit was trying its best to defend, and the Ghost Master thought, luckily he dodged it. But then, something arises from the ground and looked at him. Before the master could do anything, the toy killed him. And as soon as the man got killed, both ghost territories starts disappearing. But to Lin's surprise, instead of returning back to Feng Mountain, he find himself in a strange place. He wondered if the place is another layer of the ghost territory. And then he saw the cat-faced ghost running away, and Tong chased after him, even though he tried to stop her. He wondered, why is Tong not listening to him, or is it because of that ghost knocking that wooden fish which controls everything? The cat-faced ghost then entered a space, and Lin noticed a pair of shoes trying to run away, but they were trapped. Tong almost entered the space, and Lin realized that he definitely can't let her enter there. He used his ghost rope on Tong, and dragged her out of that space. They both then returned to Feng Mountain, and Tong showed him the red shoes. Meanwhile, at the other side, the Ghost Masters were following that red light. Suddenly, it changed direction and charged toward them, so the girl ordered her men to prepare for battle. But to her surprise, the red ghost's target was not them, so she realized that the thing it's looking for has appeared. Back at Feng, the system informed him that Tong can be upgraded to B rank, so does he wish to continue? And Lin replied with yes. Tong has been upgraded to B rank and his body got strengthened by 2 times. He then gets a new mission of binding with a second ghost spirit, and he can select a new ghost spirit token and nurture it as a partner until successfully binded. Lin couldn't believe that not just upgrading, it can also increase ghost aura, as normal ghost masters need to work hard for so many years to get it. He has a lot of ghost tokens, so he decides to pick the best one for the second ghost spirit. The system confirmed if he wished to select the red shoes as his second spirit token, and Lin replied with yes. He then gets a mission of returning the shoes back to its owner, the marriage bride, and the reward is 15 favorability. The system also added that those who damage the shoes will be attacked by the marriage bride, so complete the mission under the condition of not getting killed. After a while, Lin said it's strange, as even though that ghost master died in the ghost territory, there should be his corpse. He wondered if it got sucked into that nunnery like the cat-faced ghost. Even marriage bride's shoes were found there, so that nunnery is not simple. But then, he finds the ghost master's tracking device. He knows, now that he has those shoes, that marriage bride must be coming towards this place, so first he put the shoes in the inventory. 10 minutes later, on the Feng Mountain cliff edge, Lin said it's good, since he can clearly see the mountains surrounding from there. He then sent a message from the ghost master device to the other master that Lin has arrived and is resting. He will complete his mission tomorrow. The guy replied, he is coming there, and then they will attack him together. After luring the guy, Lin decides to take a nap. The ghost master was killing the E-rank ghost on the way, and said he will soon kill Lin and get his ghost spirit. The leader heard everything with her paper skill and decides to inform Lin about it. She then tells her subordinates that the 15-year boy that they encountered is genius Lin Feng, and now a ghost master is after his life at Xiao Feng Mountain. The leader added that she sent the paper man to inform him about the situation, but they should pick up the pace too, as the red ghost also went in that direction. The next morning, Paperman finds Lin sleeping on the cliff. It tried to wake him up and then changed into the humanoid form and said he is in danger, so Lin asked if the marriage bride is an evil spirit. Confused, it asked Lin if he has seen it before, and he replied yes from a distance. He knows that he can't tell anyone about the system, and then the paperman said that a B-rank master is heading there to kill him. But it gets surprised after hearing that Lin was waiting for that master to arrive. He then receives a message from the ghost master Shan that he arrived at the mountain base. The leader tells him through the paperman that she can't protect him without her real body, so don't do stupid things. She noticed just how calm Lin is, so she asked if his spirit has reached the scary rank. Lin replied yes, and the leader thought just a while ago it was at E rank, so what's with this growth speed? She thought if he is not a physics constitution, then he is once in a 100-year hidden state body. Lin then tells the paperman to just wait and watch. Shan received the message that Lin is still sleeping in the temple, so come and find me at the East Mountain Tops tree. Shan arrived at the location, but couldn't find his friend. He noticed a shoe on the ground, so he picked it up, wondering, what is that? The leader then confirms that according to Lin, that shoe is what the marriage bride is looking for. He replied yes, and it's the part of the set, and now her target will be that idiot, who is holding that shoe. Suddenly, Tong came out and used her skill to hide Lin's presence, so he said, it's here. The marriage bride was coming at full speed, and Shan wondered what that thing is. She appeared in front of him and unleashed her ghost territory instantly. Lin then heard someone saying that they have arrived. Lin asked the woman if she is the leader, and she replied yes. The leader said, thanks to him, that evil spirit has shown itself, so she will go and eliminate it now. But Lin said he is coming along. He was thinking, while these guys will restrain the marriage bride, he will find a chance to complete the mission of passing back the shoes. The leader then ordered her team members to not summon their spirit first, directly head in, don't scare it away, and then they entered in her territory. There were lights and colors everywhere, like the place of getting married. The leader used her paper skill to explore the place, but it got destroyed in seconds, so she ordered the others to summon their ghosts. And just as she expected, no one was able to summon their ghosts anymore. She then ordered them to quickly leave the place, but as they tried to run away, they find the door closed. Two men tried to use physical strength to open the door, but to no avail. Suddenly, they heard someone scream from behind. When they turn around, they see the ghost master Shan came flying out of a room. He collided with the wall and injured his head. And then, the marriage bride ghost appeared. The leader tells everyone to not act rashly and said she will sacrifice her life and force Xiao Bai to wake up. Lin then asked her if one can separate the ghost domain for a short time, then can they summon their ghosts, and the leader replied yes, but asked, how can they do that? Lin then summoned Tong and she came out of his spirit token. Everyone gets surprised to see that Lin can actually summon his ghost. He used Tong's ghost domain to separate themselves from the marriage bride ghost territory. He tells everyone to summon their ghosts, as they are now in Tong's independent space. The marriage bride attacked them, but just as Lin said, the leader managed to summon her ghosts this time. Lin noticed two ghosts and figures that the first one is just a puppet stand-in like an airplane, and this B-rank ghost is her real ghost spirit, Xiao Bai. Xiao Bai then attacked the marriage bride, but she stopped all her attacks. Lin realized that they were equal in power and thought, this is a perfect opportunity to complete his mission of returning the red shoe. The marriage ghost stopped attacking after seeing her red shoe, and Lin tells everyone to stop attacking immediately. The leader gets confused, but he said they have suppressed her, so listen to him right now. He slowly walked toward the bride while saying, is this her shoe? He just found it, so he will return it to her. The system tells him that he got 15 bond points for returning the shoe to marriage bride. The leader asked him why he returned the shoe and asked if he wants to control her as a second ghost. She said, this bride ghost is an evil spirit and this heaven-defying ghost realm is too dangerous. The bride then put on shoes that was a match for her dress. And as soon as she put on her shoes, she transformed into her complete form and become a level A evil spirit. The leader gets worried as the ghost energy of the bride is now 2 times stronger than before. Lin saw her rank and thought, the 15 favorability is not enough now. The bride then walked towards Lin, and the leader's spirit dashed towards her. But before she could attack the bride, the ghost masters and the leader's spirit got pushed back to the real world. The members said maybe the bride escaped, but the leader noticed that Lin is missing and realized that the bride pushed them out of her ghost territory. The yellow-haired girl said that boy named Lin Feng isn't simple, they all managed to escape because of him, so she thinks that maybe he can tame the marriage bride. The leader then tells everyone to go back to the city, while she will stay there to handle Lin Feng's matter. She also tells them to not spread any of the information about the marriage bride's unique territory. Inside, Lin was confused, thinking, why did everyone disappear? The system then gave him one more task to increase 15 favorability by entering her room and combing the bride's hair. He entered the bride's room, who was already there waiting for him. Lin wondered, how is he supposed to comb her hair if he can't see them? But then he saw her face in the mirror and realized it's time to show his skills. He picked the comb from the table and looked at the mirror to see her face. He started combing her hair and thought, it's progressing much smoother. This mission also got completed and the system gives him a new mission of preventing the marriage of the marriage bride, and the reward is 20 favorability. Lin gets happy as by completing this one mission, he will be able to bind with the bride ghost. And as he was thinking that, he gets dragged into the mirror. He arrived in the era where the marriage bride used to live. He saw a beautiful girl who asked him if she is looking good. Her name is Xuan Hua, 17 years old and the eldest daughter of a wealthy merchant. She gives him a half comb, saying she and he each will have one, but Zhu was confused. And then to his surprise, she addressed him as Zai and said, husband name can't be called casually. He then looked into the mirror and find himself in the body of Lin Zaimo, Lin's family third son and the childhood friend of Xuan Hua. Lin was confused, thinking, if she is going to marry him, then how is he supposed to stop her? After some days, his elder brother was making fun of him, saying, even though he is a childhood friend of Xuan Hua, there is no way she will gonna marry him. He said she will be marrying a large family, and yesterday, General Guangwei sent people to propose marriage, so she will be married soon. And when Lin heard that the general is 48 years old, he understands the meaning of stopping the marriage, as Xuan Hua is forced to marry an old man. His brother then gives him an invitation letter that Xuan Hua asked him to give it to Lin. She wrote everything in the letter that her dad agreed to the general's marriage proposal. She rejected many times, but her words mean nothing. She tried to escape and leave the family, but she was locked in the chamber by her own parents, so in this life, they can't be together. She added that the general Song has a high authority, so please do not try to do anything to prevent himself from being endangered. Lin sighed, thinking her parents are just like his, who left him to die on the streets. No matter how much the era changes, humans are always greedy. Children are just tools to stratify the parents. He put down the letter in anger and said he won't let this tragedy happen. Then on the day of the marriage, he disguised himself as one of the general's Song helpers and reached outside Xuan Hua's house. He wanted to see for himself what does this general look like, who forcefully wanted to marry a girl. But to Lin's surprise, all he saw was an empty armor. He asked the fellow helper if he know why the groom didn't come to the marriage, and he replied, because he died on the battlefield 3 days ago. He continued, but the wedding is still a wedding, just it became an underworld dark marriage. Lin was thinking that a dark marriage is for 2 families people who have died, so can a living being and a dead person be in a dead marriage? Meanwhile, in Xuan Hua's room, an old lady gives her some peanuts and red dates porridge, which will help her bear many children. Her parents tell her to be quick, as the general Song is already waiting outside, and they can't let the good time to marry pass. Xuan Hua took the porridge and started eating it, while Lin was thinking that he has to find her quickly. He reached inside and get relieved to see that she is alright. She gets surprised after seeing him and asked, why did he come? Lin went close to her and said he is there to take her away. Xuan Hua's father came and tells him to get lost and not try to cause trouble there. He grabbed Xuan Hua's hand and start running, while her father shouted at them to stop. Lin was thinking he already sent people to branch off the guards at the door, they just need to get on the carriage so they can escape successfully. But suddenly, Xuan Hua starts coughing and fall to the ground. Lin sit beside her and asked what happened. She muttered that porridge has poison, Dad, Mom, why? Her mother apologized and said General Song died in war a few days ago, and only souls can marry, so. And her father added, if not for her mother, they won't have to wait until now. Lin shouted at them, asking how can they decided on Xuan Hua's fate to live or die. He dashed towards her father and tells him to hand over the cure. He grabbed his collar and said she is his daughter, so save her quickly. But then the guards arrived and pin him down. Hua's father tells him to stop doing futile things, as arrow poison flower is incurable. Hua slowly crawled towards him, saying she didn't think that in the world someone actually cared for her. But before she could touch Lin for the last time, she lost all her strength. And as soon as she falls, the guards bring a coffin and Lin realized everything was prepared already. He shouted at Hua's father that for the sake of authority, he didn't hesitate to kill his own daughter. He is just a greedy trash. But her father replied, it's a child's job to sacrifice for the family. If he lived for 20 years longer, he would have understood. He then ordered his men to deal with Lin, since they cannot let an outsider know about this thing. The guards take him to a well to throw him inside. Hua was on her last breath and witnessed everything. The guards then kicked him in the well. They made up a story of how Xuan family's eldest daughter, Xuan Hua, died of illness 2 days ago. General Song died on the battlefield 3 days ago, so the two of them will be married on this date. Outside, everyone gets shocked as there was something on top of the coffin. It was the ghost of the bride, Xuan Hua, who was releasing a murderous aura. They all start running to save their lives, but she ruthlessly killed them all. Inside the well, Lin was on the brink of death, saying, the sky outside is so red, just like the clothes Xuan Hua sewed. He wondered if this is the ending of the story, and then he slowly lost consciousness. He remembered a girl from the past who was telling him to wake up. It was the time when he was 6 years old. The girl introduced herself as Tong Tong and give him bread to eat. She asked his grandpa if they can raise him, but her grandpa refused, saying he is not some wild cat, so absolutely no. After some time, Lin tells them about his life, how his parents called him useless and left him to die. The old man pats his head and tells him to cry if he is sad. Lin bursts out and starts crying. He said his dad and mom are bad guys, so he hates them, but he still misses them. Tong then hugs him and tells him to not be sad, and let her be his mother in the future. Back at present, it was Tong who was hugging him. He realized that everything was an illusion, and this current Xuan Hua doesn't have human consciousness. Tong was ready to attack Hua, but Lin stopped her while saying she won't harm him. He wondered where Hua is heading, so he decides to follow her. Lin followed her and gets shocked to hear the marriage shaman Gu Soul bell. He saw a ghost carriage and realizes marrying is Xuan Hua's heart demon. And even after becoming a ghost, the plot and scene keep repeating in the ghost territory. He ran after her so he could destroy this cycle and save Xuan Hua. He ordered Tong to go and destroy the carriage. But to their surprise, the carriage was protected by some kind of barrier that only Hua can pass from. He then realized that the bell sound is what controls the ghost spirit, thus luring Hua to get on the ghost carriage. He came in front of Xuan Hua and tried to remind her of the past. But she used her skill, Flash, and passed through him. Lin knows, with his companion's favorability now, he cannot control it. But then a thought crossed his mind. He went inside the well, where her father throw and kill her lover. Inside, he found his skeleton, which was holding the other half of the comb. He take the comb from its hands, and then he went inside Hua's room and find the other half. And as soon as he combined the comb, it starts releasing some kind of waves. He then went close to Hua and asked if she still remember this token. And to Lin's surprise, her hand stretched for it, so he asked if she woke up now. She clenches her fist in anger and dashed towards the ghost carriage. She destroyed the barrier and then the ghost carriage into pieces. But to their surprise, the ghost carriage instantly regenerated itself. Lin then takes out a burner from his inventory storage and throws it inside the carriage. And then, the carriage got burned, so Lin wondered if it ended. Then the next second, the carriage regenerated again and was about to attack them. Lin noticed the ghost flame skill in Hua's possession and thought, he never expected her to have such a strong skill. The carriage attacked Hua, but she burned it with her ghost flame. Lin ordered Tong to help Xuan Hua to control the ghost carriage movements, and Xuan Hua to pass the ghost flame through her threads. Tong sealed the carriage movements, and then Hua covered it in her silk threads and used her ghost flame to completely burn it. The system congratulates Lin for completing the mission and gives 20 favorability for Marriage Bride's companion. It added that his companion favorability has reached 50, so he can bind Marriage Bride as his second ghost spirit. It instructs Lin to pass a drip of his blood to the Marriage Bride for her to swallow. He bite his finger and then Xuan Hua sucks his blood to form the contract. He obtained 1000 ghost experience and 1 ghost spirit pill for completing the mission. Also, he obtained a lottery draw chance as well. After a while, Lin was inside Hua's room, thinking, as expected of high-rank spirit, she has many abilities like Flash, Ghost Cut, Ghost Flame, and her talent is Extraordinary Sense. And the most amazing is her ghost territory. Not only she can cut the connection between Ghost Master and Ghost Spirit, she has a rare double territory. He then decides to use the lottery draw. He obtained the ability called Crack Ghost Pattern, in which the host is able to crack a portion of Ghost Pattern with the help of Ghost Spirit. Suddenly, Lin heard a horseshoe sound nearby, so he decides to check it. But Xuan Hua stopped him from doing so and then cancelled her ghost territory. He was then transported to a new location, so Lin realized that she used her flash ability after hearing the horseshoe's sound. This means the horseshoe's sound owner should be an evil spirit that's her enemy, or he is the one controlling the ghost carriage. But since Xuan Hua decided to use flash ability, it seems like they need more information before they can deal with it. After a while, in Liu City's Ghost Master Association, the leader, Yan, couldn't believe that Lin returned safely, as it's been 3 days since he disappeared. He then informed her that the matter with the Marriage Bride's ghost spirit is all settled. She couldn't believe that Lin bonded with a spirit of rank A. She then used her womanly charm on him and asked him to give her some realistic benefit, which confused Lin. She said it's simple, he just needs to join Ghost Master Association, as that alone is enough to raise her standings. She promised him to give a special position, in which he will have freedom and authority, and just need to join important large missions. Lin thought, to be able to have authority seems not bad, and he might be able to find out about Hua's enemy, and information about that mysterious temple. He then agreed to join her association, which makes her happy. She then tells him that to join the Ghost Master Union, there are conditions, which is level acknowledgement. He is still under trainee period, but has sufficient combat ability, but still, he might not get acknowledged by officials. But luckily, there is Liu City's raiding event, so she tells him to prepare and join it. Later at night, Lin was saying that tomorrow is the raiding ceremony. Hua is still resting, but with Tong, everything should be fine. And as he lie down on the bed, he noticed someone standing beside him. He turns around and gets shocked to see Hua, who was looking at him with love. She lie down next to him and Lin wondered if he need to sleep like this. Then the next morning, he stood up to get ready for the tournament, as he was already late. Hua brings his clothes and Lin realized she is treating him as her husband. She starts changing his clothes, but he tells her to stop and that he can do it himself. After reaching the location, Lin heard the announcer saying that this time there are over 3,000 participants, so it's going to be exciting. She said there are mostly last year's graduate students and different year's students along with the trainees. Lin classmates saw him participating in the tournament and start cheering for him, thinking he will shock everyone as his rating is C rank. The other participants were making fun of him, saying they took the exam over a year and only 30% passed, so he is going to humiliate himself. The first round was the Ghost Spirit written exam. It has a total of 20 MCQs and 10 short answered questions. Every question will appear on the screen for 60 seconds, and those who got the wrong answer will be disqualified. While the other students are failing one by one, thinking this year's questions are crazy tough. Lin passed the exam and thought it was too simple. Then the second round is mental spirit test, in which they need to maintain their state, no matter how strong the enemy is. In this round, 3 examiners will let their evil ghost spirit release the ghost aura, and will examine everyone's mental strength. While the other students were shivering in fear, Lin stood there calmly as if nothing is happening. The girl announced, everyone is falling after being affected by the ghost aura, which includes a genius from the senior students. The last examiner is the Elder Gu, who has an evil spirit called Demon Eyes that symbolize and live inside him. All the students have fallen, and out of 3,000, only 9 remained. Then the exciting moment has come. The students will go up the rating stage and summon their ghost spirit, so it can analyze the level of their spirit. The first person was a student named Kyan, who failed the test since his spirit was of only F rank. Second was Sheng, whose spirit was of D rank, so he passed the test. The third one is none other than Lin, the only trainee student who has reached this far. Everyone starts talking about him, that he is the one with physic body. The guy with the D rank spirit said if this fresher passes, then he would eat the armored vehicle. Lin thought he just need to make an appearance, not draw too much attention. He then summoned Tong for her to be tested. His classmates were praying that his spirit should be of at least C rank, since it's a matter of their school's prestige. And then, to everyone's surprise, Lin's spirit was of B rank, which is equal to their vice captain's rank. The announcer smiled and said they didn't see wrongly, it's really a B rank spirit. And as she was congratulating Lin, someone stabbed him from behind. The guy then captured Tong, saying he finally found him. And then to Lin's surprise, the guy was none other than Shan, who was laughing evilly while saying he killed his brother, so today's the day he is going to die. The girl announced a perverted uncle disguised himself as a student and then harmed Lin Feng. The elder Gu said this guy forcefully synchronized an evil spirit, so he won't live for long. One of the examiners attacked Shan, but got easily defeated by him. Lin thought he worked hard for revenge, but today is the day he is going to die. And as Shan was about to kill Lin, his attack got stopped by some strings. Hua was in the sky, who sealed Shan's movements along with his spirit. And then in front of everyone, she killed him and his evil spirit. The other masters get shocked to see that a B-rank spirit has instantly killed. The elder said this spirit didn't even open ghost territory, yet she instantly killed it, so what in the hell she is. He then remembered that this is the marriage bride spirit that caused Lu City to be sealed, and even the Ghost Master Association can't deal with her. Lin's classmates were crying in fear and praying to God that they doesn't want to die. The system updated that Hua killed a B-rank spirit, so he got 3000 ghost spirit experience, 10 companion favorability, and also obtained 1 wrap corpse bag. Lin thanked Hua, and everyone fell silent. They wondered why this evil spirit is not attacking Lin Feng. The announcer hesitantly asked if this spirit could be his second spirit. Lin sighed, since he couldn't hide his trump card, and said, yes it is. The whole stadium went silent again. And then they all starts cheering for him and called him amazing. Their teacher called him a genius for having 2 high-ranking spirits at his age, as even the principal only have a B-rank spirit, so he suggested making him the principal. The girl then happily announced that Ling Feng's grade is rank A. After some days, Lin was holed up inside his room, while some people were begging him to make them his disciple. He sighed, thinking he didn't sleep well for 7 days, as after the raiding, his mansion became a tourist attraction place. He even tried to use ghost territory to rest, but inside Tong's territory, the toys keep asking him to play with them. He then tried using Hua's territory, but he kept hearing her say, first comb to end, second will love until white hair, and third will live together forever. Even though he has a large sum of money, but if he goes out shopping, he will get surrounded. Outside, the announcer from the tournament was telling everyone that this is the rumored Lin Feng's house, who have 2 high-rank spirits at the age of 15. Yan reached outside his mansion and thought it's hard for him to stay in Lu City. Later that day, Yan offered Lin to go to High City, which is one of the 5 cities, as she is going there for a business trip. Lin gets shocked and Yan explained that Ghost Master Association has a total of 5 branches. High City has East Side, West, South, North, all have an area counted as the biggest city, but High City is at East Side's core, and has many C-rank masters. He can also auction ghost token if he has any. Lin said it sounds good, and thought, Hua's ghost territory has many ghost masters tokens, so they should be worth quite a lot. Yan then tells him to go back and pack up, as they will head off the day after tomorrow. 2 days later, Lin and the others left for the High City. Yan tells him that the city is few hundred kilometers, and there are many killer traps of ghosts in the way, but the association has specialized road for traveling. Lin was thinking how his school teaching is limited, as there are many things in the world that he doesn't know about. After traveling for a while, they all reached the port, where a submarine was waiting for them. Yan said that the submarine was painted with gold, so it can prevent water ghosts from sensing humans, so Lin can rest ashore. At night, they arrived at High City, and Yan took Lin to her house. She tells him to show his ghost tokens to her that he wants to sell. He tells Tong to force out the ghost spirit, and she released the small head axe B-rank ghost spirit. Yan shockingly said, "A B-rank spirit that doesn't have an owner, how exactly did he obtain it?" Lin replied, "They are all found in the marriage bride's ghost territory. There seem to be 5 more, so how much can they sell for?" Yan gets shocked to hear that he has 5 more spirits and said, "Spirit without an owner is extremely rare, and it's her first time seeing such a high rank one." She tells him that his spirits will be sold for millions, so she will contact the auction for him and ask them to help with the selling process. After some time, Lin was relaxing, thinking it's been a long time since he enjoyed such a relaxing night. He remembered that High City has high-rank missions and special missions too, and thought, not long later Tong and Hua can be upgraded. He then gets surprised to see Hua there, as he's sure that he locked the door. But then he realized that locking the door isn't useful, and if you want to block her, then he need to paint the whole bathroom with gold paint. He hides his body from her and asked, what is she planning to do? After some time, Xu and Hua was wiping his back for him, which makes him flustered. He gained 50 experience points and 5 favorability points for bathing with Hua. Then later at night, Hua was sleeping next to Lin. He was looking at her face while thinking, being able to see such a pretty face when he woke up is good. Meanwhile, nearby at High City's defense area, some ghost masters were boasting how they just killed a B-rank evil spirit. Suddenly, their leader heard some horseshoe sounds and wondered, why would anyone ride a horse in such a place? They know this can't be a human, so they get ready to battle. They all summoned their ghosts and saw someone riding a horse. And to their bad luck, it's the headless General S-rank ghost spirit. The general easily destroyed their spirit's ghost territories and killed them all. Then the next day, Lin woke up in the afternoon. He gets surprised to see 3 beautiful ladies in front of him. Yan said he was sleeping so comfortably, so she didn't wake him up for the morning auction. But if he didn't wake up now, her Hua might make the 5th time breakfast. He and Yan then enjoyed the breakfast made by Xu and Hua, and Yan praised her by saying, "That era's girl is indeed virtuous." She then tells Lin that all of his B-rank ghost spirits are crazily snatched. In the end, they are sold for 20 million credit points. Lin gets too shocked that he became rich in a single night. The total he had was 21 million, but after deducting 10% auction fees, 6% tax, and 20% agency fees, he is left with almost 13 million. Yan transferred the amount to his account and tells him to enjoy, because she has something to handle at the association, as there's an urgent incident. She tells him that yesterday, a small ghost master's squad heads were all chopped off by an evil spirit, and today an expert ghost master also died. Suddenly, she heard someone saying she doesn't have to worry about this matter as he will handle it, and Yan addressed him as Leader Zhuo and asked, why is he there? He said he specifically came to notify her, since that head chopper spirit appeared in High City, so let him handle it, and she should just take rest. He added that he has arranged everything, and then showed them a ghost master recording device, who was killed yesterday. Lin gets shocked, since the horseshoe sound in the recording device is the same as the one who charged at Xu and Hua's ghost territory. He then looked at the recording and found that this ghost has no head. Zhuo then tells Yan to not interrupt, as everything is going smoothly under his command. Yan agreed to leave it to him this time. Lin was thinking that this headless general armor is the same as the general that was prepared to marry Hua, so he must be the evil spirit behind that ghost carriage. And as Lin was thinking about how this general found Xu and Hua's location, the system gives him the mission of finding Xu and Hua's engagement certificate and destroy it. Lin now understands everything and decides to go to the ghost territory to find the engagement contract so he can destroy it. After a while, inside Hua's ghost territory, Tong, Xu and Hua and Lin were searching for the contract. And then Lin finds the contract, which has some ghost words written on it. He tear the contract into pieces, but it got regenerated again. He then tells Xu and Hua to do it, so she burned it with her ghost flames. The system congratulates him for completing 50% of the mission, so Lin realized that the other half is with the headless general. Then later at night, he accepted the association's inner mission of eliminating all evil spirits inside a ghost cave, and the reward is 4 million. He thought, now that Hua's marriage contract is gone, finding her won't be easy, so it's time to get stronger. Meanwhile, at Hai's City north side, Zhuo and his team reach there and find some more masters' heads, chopped off by the headless general. He asked his daughters to check the bodies as they have special tracking abilities. His daughters said these ghost masters died half an hour ago, and even if the rain covered its trace, but they can trace it by the fragment energy from the horseshoes. 1 hour later, the sister Yu tells them to stop since the ghost aura is thicker there, so the spirit should be in the front mountain. Juo tells everyone to extinguish their car lights and adapt to moonlight so they can fight in the dark. He said they will be using strategy 3, in which 5 squads will split up and surround it, and just wait for the perfect time to attack. The sister Ling then used her ghost butterfly to scout the area. Juo laughed evilly and said their goal is to capture the ghost horse alive. Ling was scared, but Yu tells her to not worry since father has gathered over 30 people, and adding him, there's still 3 ghost masters of rank A. The headless general arrived and Juo ordered the members to use ghost territory to seal it. Everyone then summoned their ghosts and used ghost territory, and to their surprise, instead of dodging, the general dashed towards them. He easily destroyed the first team's ghost territories and killed them all. Juo couldn't believe a B rank 7 people team got instantly defeated, and even the ghost spirits disappeared. He then summoned his spirit Jin Wu and tells it to use ghost territory to stop the general. Also, he ordered other members to stack their territories. They trapped the general inside, thinking ghost territories didn't get shattered, so he can't leave now. Juo smiled and thought, it doesn't have a head, which means it doesn't have a brain, so a trapped brainless ghost general can only get exhausted to death. He then ordered his and the other spirits to kill the general, but just don't hurt the ghost horse. Slowly, the ghost masters were losing their spirits as the general was killing them one by one. He also used the first team ghost spirits that he killed before. And then, the general released all the spirits under his possession, and then unleashed all of their ghost territories. Juo gets scared, thinking now that the inner ghosts unleashed their territories at the same time, their stacked territory will be destroyed. They all then start running away from the general, as he was killing others one by one. Ling said the other members hasn't arrived, but Juo replied they can't wait any longer, and then he tried to run away. The general reached a car behind them and sent it flying. The car then gets crashed with their truck, thus spoiling their truck's engine. Juo then tells his daughter to quickly hide in the storage area, since that place is painted with gold. Inside, he tells them to not be scared, as the general can't find them there, but Ling said that the storage door has a hole in it. She peeked outside and saw the general outside their truck. She gets scared and realized they are going to die. But then, to her surprise, the general turned his attention away from them. Outside, the general was looking at Xu and Hua, who was luring him away from the truck. After a while, the father and daughters screamed as someone opened the door. But luckily, it was Lin who was there to save them. He then ordered Hua to use flash and move away from there, and then she transported him, along with Juo and his daughters. After some time, in High City number 13 side defense, Juo was cursing the general since he killed his second ghost spirit, which he got after a long time. After doing the bandages, Lin tried to leave, but Juo begged him to help them eliminate the headless general, and also help him to convince Yan to take action. 3 hours ago, while Lin was in the ghost cave, he was leveling up by killing and capturing the spirits there. He received a ghost fragment after killing a B-rank spirit that he can use to strengthen his ghost territory. He also obtained a ghost cape that he can use to hide his presence. Even though it looked ugly, Lin decides to wear it, and to his surprise, it changes its form and gets absorbed by him. He said, as expected, this place is a gold grinding place, as it's full of B or even high rank spirits that he was killing to upgrade. After killing some spirits, he once again got a ghost territory fragment as a reward, but this time, its color was different from before. He then obtained some ghost sea grass, so he wondered if it can be used to feed ghosts. And then the system informed him that his spirit tongue can be upgraded, so does he wish to continue? And Lin replied positively. His body got strengthened by 3 times, and Tong reached the rank A. She also awakened a ghost spell, called Mutation, which can last 100 seconds in battle. After a while, Lin was thinking about, in just a few more days, Xu and Hua can rise to S rank, and it's all thanks to the inner information of the association. After some time, Lin came out of the cave and thought, walking at night isn't convenient, so he should get a motorcycle for himself. Even though Hua has flash ability, but it's not for long distance teleport. And then he wondered if he can get the headless general horse. Lin then heard some sounds coming from afar, so he decides to check it. He gets shocked to see the headless general, and that even 30 ghost masters can't stop him. He knows that he can't defeat him in his current condition, so he decides to get back to city to gather more information. But then, he noticed the leader Zhuo and some girls hiding in a truck and figures that they will be discovered by the headless general. Back at present, he explained everything to Yan and the others. Zhuo begged Yan to help him eliminate the headless general, or he will lose his face as a co-leader. Yan replied she only has a S-rank spirit, which is going through metamorphosis, so she didn't have enough combat ability, and then she asked Lin about his opinion. Zhuo gets shocked to hear that this boy is Lin Feng, Lu City's prodigy. The girls also get impressed and thought, no wonder he does things like an adult. Also, he is so strong and handsome. Zhuo begged Lin to help him, and in return, he will offer 1 million credit points, but Lin said he doesn't need money. Zhuo asked what he wants, house, money, or position, and Yu suggested him to give his daughter too. But Zhuo said he will have to cross over his dead body first before touching his daughter, but Lin ignored him and said he has 3 conditions. 1. He wants every information regarding the general. 2. He will decide the whole battle strategy. And 3. After winning, all loots will be his. Zhuo thought he can never give the general's horse and sword to a brat, and refused to agree with the 3rd condition. Lin realized that Zhuo also wants the horse, and he might have failed before because he wanted to capture it alive, so he offered him a spirit of rank A. Zhuo couldn't believe that Lin has such a treasure, and now that he lost his 2nd spirit, so he need one quickly. Lin said if he agrees to his condition, then he will give him this ghost spirit and 10 million credit points, otherwise, he won't help him and deal with the general himself. Yan wondered, when did Lin become so brave? While Zhuo was feeling embarrassed since Lin was putting pressure on him, and 10 million points are too cheap. Lin said if he didn't answer in 15 seconds, then his offer will be closed. And as he was counting backward, Zhuo sighed and agreed, thinking, this boy is going to be very strong in the future. After a while, Lin was thinking about the information that he got from Zhuo, that the general didn't use his ghost territory till the end. Lin thought that as for crushing the other spirit territories, the source should come from the horse, not related to the headless general. He knows that he needs a strong ghost territory to trap the general, so he tells Hua to open her ghost territory. And as they went inside the ghost territory, the system asked if he wants to use the fragments to make changes in the territory. He had different fragments for different types of changes, like blue for water, green for forest, and many more. Lin used the forest fragment first, so the system asked him to pick the form from the 5 options, and Lin selected the Sakura forest. And after using every fragments, Hua's territory expanded 10 times larger. He then take out the ghost sea grass and place them in the river. He asked Hua to see if she can control the grass, and it was working great. Lin smiled, thinking now that the trap is made, the headless general will be trapped like a rat. Then the next day, the other ghost masters were talking about the incident last night, where more than 20 ghost masters got killed by a single spirit. One of them said if leader Zhu is dead, then those 2 twins are his. In the afternoon, the daughters were asking their father if they can recruit Lin Feng, but he said that Lin is already on Yan's side, so he won't join them. Meanwhile, Yan was asking Lin if he liked those 2 twins, and if he is going to leave her for girls. She tried to seduce Lin, but the vice leader tells her to watch her actions. After some time, the group reached the location, where more than 30 masters were killed by the general. The vice leader's spirit then find a feather, and Zhuo said it's his ghost spirit Wu's body. Vice leader tells everyone to follow her spirit, since she has a lead. Later at night, they arrived at a mountain, where they find more ghost masters' bodies. Yu then points at something and said, a black dot is moving. Luckily, Lin now have 3 times the vision, so he find the headless general, who was heading towards the food town. Yan said, the town has many people, so they can't let him reach the town. Lin then takes out the comb and orders Xu and Hua to unleash her ghost territory. And as she came out of the token, the general changed his direction and dashed towards her. Lin ordered everyone to summon their spirits and get ready for the battle. After getting inside Hua's territory, Yan said it got changed so much, as expected of a rare ghost. And as soon as the general entered the territory, Tong used ghost stealth on Lin and the others. Lin said they will observe first, since they still need to confirm his guess about the general's ghost territory and ghost horse. Yan finds it strange that the general is finding someone, yet he is not getting off the horse. So Lin said, once the general goes down the horse, his ability will be greatly reduced. The general then entered Hua's room, but it was empty. Angered, he released the spirits tamed by him, so they can search the whole ghost territory. So Lin tells Yan to inform everyone to ambush these small ghosts. Yu said it's amazing, since so many ghost spirits got summoned, but the ghost territory didn't have any changes. Lin then tells Hua to go according to the plan. She then showed herself and starts moving towards the river at full speed. The general noticed her running, so he dashed towards her. Everything was according to Lin's plan, in which he will use the water seagrass to drag down the horse, so they can separate the general from it. Lin saw that it running on water like land, and faster in speed, scared that Xu and Hua ran away. Lin smiled, thinking they won't let him get away, as they were waiting for this moment. Lin said the general is strong, but the water is his territory. But then to his surprise, there was no movement in the water, the seagrass couldn't grow up at all, so he wondered what Hua is exactly doing. The general went close to Hua and stopped. Yan couldn't believe that Lin Feng's spirit didn't use any skills, yet the headless general slowed down. Lin then realized that Xu and Hua used herself as a bait, so once the general slowed down, she can use the seagrass on him. And just as he expected, she used the seagrass to drag the horse down as soon as it stopped. Lin understood, if the ghost horse was in full state running mode, it might not be able to tangle it, but now, Xu and Hua's plan succeeded. The other spirits dashed towards the general to help him, so Tong and the other spirits attacked them. Yan then summoned her spirit and tells her to create a path for them, and then Yan and Lin also went towards the general. A spirit attacked Tong, so Yan warned her, since the spirit was of rank A. But to her surprise, Tong killed it in a single attack, and obtained health recovery for killing it, which recovers her 1% strength every second. Yan couldn't believe that in just few days, Lin's other spirit also reached rank A. The vice leader thought Lin's both spirits are too strong and exceeded their rank, so if this battle is won, then he will be famous throughout the entire east part. Lin saw the general still struggling and thought, even though his subordinates are all killed, he still can't bear to get off the horse. He then ordered Tong to force him to get off the horse, so she attacked the general. And as soon as the general jumped from his horse, all the spirits including Tong attacked him. But to their surprise, every spirit got pushed back, so they wondered, why isn't he injured? Yan figured that the general's armor is able to cause reflective damage, so they won't be able to harm him. The general then jumped at Tong, and as he was about to kill her, she transformed into her mutated form and stopped his attack. Lin thought, even though Tong's ability has increased, they still need to remove the armor speciality, so they won't be able to attack. He ordered Hua to use Ghost Flame, as it was the weakness to both Ghost Carriage and Marriage Contract. And just as Lin expected, the Ghost Flame was effective against the general. Tong used this opportunity to attack the general, and the general fell to his knees. Everyone thought that the battle is over, but Lin said it's not dead while thinking that the system didn't send notification yet. The general was faking its death, and then he attacked Tong. But Tong cut off his arm, and the general's sword got caught by Lin. He then pierced the general's body with his own sword, thus successfully killed him. He got 4,000 experience points and 1,000 companion favorability for Xu and Hua. He also obtained Ghost Sword, that caused continuous and additional damage to Ghost Spirit. He then got the Ghost Armor, which reflects physical damage and has high defense. Then the Ghost Cape, that subdues Ghost Spirit who's in a dying state and makes it yours. And the last was the Ghost Horse, that has high speed travel, ignores exhaustion, ignores territory type, and also ignores some territory's barrier. Lin was happy, thinking all the item that he got are treasures, and the headless general should be called the treasure box. Meanwhile, Ling asked her dad why is he not helping Lin, as there is no movement from the other side. But he replied, didn't she say before that living is more precious than this? Suddenly, Hua's ghost territory disappeared, so they wondered if Lin's group succeeded. Yu then screamed and pointed at something. It was the headless general, who was coming towards them. But to their surprise, it was not the general, but Lin Feng. Yan also arrived and tells them that the headless general was killed by Lin. The sisters couldn't believe that the general, who killed over 20 masters alone, died at the hands of Lin. Zhuo gets frustrated, since a 15-year-old boy got all the benefits, and then he asked Lin if he is selling the horse. Lin refused, but Zhuo offered him 50 million credit points for it. Lin still refused, so Zhuo raised the price by 30 million, and then 20 more. Ling wondered if her dad is going crazy since he offered 100 million just for the ghost horse. Yao asked the vice leader if Zhuo have that much money, and she replied, his family is a noble family, so this much money means nothing to him. Lin said, 100 years ago, money was still the power of society, but he understand clearly that the most valuable items can't be bought with money. Yan thought he is right, as the most valuable thing nowadays is a strong ghost master. He is already too strong, and will get stronger in the future, so this is unmeasurable with money, a height unimaginable. Lin then tells Yan to leave, as he is going to ride his horse back and get more familiar with it. He then summoned Tong and Hua while saying, he will bring them around today to celebrate Hua's single status. Tong then noticed an evil spirit, so Lin tells her to try the horse ability. The horse easily destroyed the evil spirit territory, and then Lin killed it with the sword and gained 1800 experience points. He smiled, thinking both the horse and sword are useful. Not only spirit can gain experience without attacking, but they also reached High City in a short time. Lin then get off the horse, as going in like that would have drawn unwanted attention. Lin then thought what he should do about the ghost horse, as he can't put it in the inventory space. But then the system notified him that the inventory space can be upgraded, so he replied positively to that. Lin gets surprised after upgrading the storage, since it got big enough to even stay. His clothes and ghost horse stable got auto-formed, and the system tells him that he can feed ghost seagrass to his horse for recovering its stamina. Suddenly, Tong gets worried for some reason, which confused Lin. Outside, he noticed a spirit whose ghost energy is weird, and it was even weaker than the E-rank ghost spirit. The spirit ignored them, so Lin thought, maybe this spirit is the type of spirit that Yan mentioned about, and it will react only when the conditions are met. He then noticed a mailbag and thought, maybe there is a treasure inside it. He ordered Tong to snatch the bag, and just as he expected, as soon as Tong snatched it, his energy increased greatly. Suddenly, Lin found himself in the ghost cave, so he realized that Hua used flash to move them. Which means that the male ghost made Hua feel threatened and endangered. Tong then opened the bag and found a letter inside it. Lin saw the letter, which was written in the ghost language, just like the marriage contract. The system tells him that he can use Xuan Hua ghost word reading ability to read it. After using the ability, he saw that a ghost is requesting help in the letter. The system then activated the third high-level ghost spirit mission, in which Lin can select the unknown female ghost that writes ghost letter as his third spirit. The system continued that he need to complete 3 ghost spirit companion favorability missions to successfully find the third spirit, and Lin accepted the mission. In the first mission, he needs to write a reply letter to the female ghost, and then hand it over to the mail delivery guy. Lin sighed, thinking he just snatched his bag, but now he need to ask him to send a letter. This is karma. He asked Tong and Hua if they can defeat the mail delivery guy, and they instantly refused by shaking their heads. He then writes a letter asking who is she. Lin then noticed the mail delivery guy came running towards them. He was looking so angry, and was thinking of only killing the ones who stole his bag. Lin quickly put the letter inside the bag and threw it at him. And as soon as he got the bag, the mailman turned into a gentle soul, and left happily from there. Meanwhile in High City's Lord Mansion, some ghost masters informed the Lord that yesterday night, that headless general was killed by Lin Feng. The city lord knows about Lin Feng achievements and said he is a rare physic body, so they must recruit him no matter the price. At the same time, in High City Bar, some ghost masters were talking about how because of the headless general, they can't go out of the city and earn money. The waiter then tells them that he hacked the association's inner authority and finds that the general was killed last night. He showed that it was killed by Lin Feng, who is only 15 years old. But then an old master said some people are gifted and they should return home and marry a girl, as they should at least be better than him at dating girls. Meanwhile, in Lin Feng's room, he was sleeping with Tong and Hua when Yan arrived and wake him up. She tells him that the city's government people came to see him. After a while, Liu Ru, the third Miss of High City, was telling him that she paid attention to him at Liu City, but the Ghost Master Association recruited him first. She asked if he wants to join the High City governance, but Lin refused instantly. She said the Ghost Master Association was established by a strong Ghost Master, and her father also has a position in it, so there will be many benefits for him. She continued that her father is 86 years old and will pass away in 5 years, then she will become the new city lord. But her current combat ability is not strong enough, so she needs to pick someone strong to be her husband and rule the high city. Lin gets shocked after hearing her words, that she will marry him and then half the city will be his. He understood that the Lord is planning not to only give his daughter, but also a city. And then he addressed Liu as sister and asked why did she choose him. Shocked, she asked in return why is he calling her a sister. Lin replied he is only 15 years old, so of course he can only call her sister. Liu said 5 years later he won't be 15, so think about her offer before taking any decision. And then she left in a hurry. After she left, Lin wondered if he said anything wrong. Inside her car, Liu was feeling so awkward, as no one told her before that Lin Feng is only 15 years old. She thought she is young and pretty, so there is no need to take the guilt of trying to take advantage of someone younger than her, and wondered if Lin will agree. After some time, Lin and Yan were talking about the city lord and her daughter. The city lord will be 80 this year, and from the looks of it, he will die soon, as 86 years old is counted as a limit in Ghost Master. Lin asked, after the city lord passes away, what will happen to his ghost spirits? She replied, his ghost spirits are very strong that no one can control, so before he dies, he must go to the ghost prison to prevent them from causing trouble in the future. The headquarters has a gold-crafted prison, which imprisoned many evil spirit and the ghost master's ghost spirits, that's been released after they died. Before they die, they will enter the prison, and use gold to totally seal it, and after many years, when companion favorability fully decreased, other masters can try to tame it. She said when her credit reaches a certain standard, she can go to the ghost prison and tame one ghost spirit that she already picked a long time ago. She added, so he has to help her and not let anyone seduce him away, and Lin said okay to it. The system then informed him that the ghost letter is about to arrive, so he need to go to a place without anyone to wait for it. After some time, Lin, along with his spirits, was waiting for the mailman to arrive. He saw him coming and thought, this time he is not going to snatch it, so the postman should not attack him. The mailman then gives him his letter, and Lin thanked him in return. But to Lin's surprise, the mailman was not leaving even after delivering the letter. Lin realizes that he is asking for reward, so Hua feed him some of the ghost's energy. The mailman then happily leaves, and Lin decides to check the letter. The letter says that he need to come to the nunnery of Liu City by following the ghost energy. Lin remembered about that nunnery and wondered if that female ghost who wrote the letter is trapped inside, just like Hua's red shoes. He then summoned his ghost horse while saying, let's go and tame the third ghost spirit. While he was on his way to Liu City, he got a message from Leader Yan. It says that the Liu City is suddenly attacked by a large-scale ghost horde. They can't hold it, so he need to go there quickly to support the other masters. Ghost Horde. It's an offensive horde formed by thousands of evil spirits, this era's most destructive unnatural disaster. Often after a few years, they will appear at the outer area of a city, and Ghost Master will fight against them to defend the city. The city often has many outer defense lines. The further away from the city, the stronger the defense, so once the defense line fails, the city will face a chaotic crisis. Inside Liu City's Ghost Master Academy, the instructor was telling the students to not worry, as their city has successfully defended against ghost hordes many times before. One of the students said that according to her mother, this ghost horde is the largest scale one throughout history, so are they going to die? The instructor replied, next lesson is Teacher Wang's escape practice, so he will answer her question. Meanwhile, in Liu City North Defense Line, the Ghost Masters were returning to their city so they can defend it from ghost hordes. Suddenly, an evil spirit broke through the defense line and scared everyone, as it was of rank A. They all summoned their spirits to fight it, but they were no match for it. They all realized that they are going to die, but then they heard some horseshoe sound. They then see a ghost entering the defense line and killed the evil spirit easily. They get scared while saying, this ghost is much stronger than the one that's been defeated, so they are going to die. But then they saw a human on the ghost horse and realized it's a ghost master. Lin asked them about the horde and they tells him that the ghost horde came from the west side and it's already broken through the defense line. So without wasting any time, Lin dashed in full speed to the west side of the city. After he left, a girl recognized him and tell the others that he was Lin Feng, as she has seen him before. After a while, Lin reached the west defense line and thought even though Liu City has many ghosts, but the ghost horde is perfect to grind. According to the leader Yan, the third defense line has the strongest ghost masters, but they will only handle high-level spirits. The second defense line will select the amount of ghost spirits they can handle, so he must wipe out the first defense line first. He was killing every spirit he is finding there, thinking, even though B rank or below ghost spirits don't give much experience, but he will gain a lot as there are so many of them. After some time, in the second defense line, a ghost master informed his leader that the third team is wiped out, so they can't last much longer. The leader ordered them to stay behind, as he is going to lure out this dangerous spirit to the station. But he saw something at a distance and wondered, why is that place cleaned? And then he noticed another high-rank spirit, so he tried to lure them away. But the spirits easily reached him and crushed him between them. But luckily, Lin arrived there on time and managed to save the leader, while Tong and Hua killed the spirits. He throws the leader back to his team and left in a hurry. Lin checked the device and finds it weird, since the second defense line shouldn't have so many spirits of rank A. He then noticed a hole on the map, so he decides to go there first. He reached the location while killing every spirit in his way, and then the system informed him that Xu and Hua can be upgraded, so does he wish to continue? He said yes to it, and Hua upgraded to rank S, and his body also got strengthened by 4 times. She also learned a new ability called Illusion Fog, by which she can unleash fog to make the enemy lose sense of direction. After killing all the spirits, Lin went towards the outer area. At the third defense line, more and more ghosts were approaching the area, and the ghost masters were still waiting for the reinforcements. Fei Lao, a 50-years-old S-rank ghost master, was telling his team members to defend with their lives, even if there's no reinforcements. A member reported him that a S-rank spirit is coming from the west side. Meanwhile, Lin entered a ghost territory that didn't get shattered by the horse, so Lin realized that it's a high-rank ghost territory. And then he encounters a S-rank evil spirit, Panda Bear. The panda attacked him, but Lin dodges and tells Hua to use her illusion fog. Hua covered the area in her fog, and then Lin ordered Tong to get into her mutation mode and kill it quickly. Tong cut it in half, but the large panda was just a puppet. Lin then noticed a small panda hidden inside it and realized that it's the spirit's main body. The little panda got mad and expanded his ghost territory. The other ghost masters shouted that S-rank ghost territory has expanded over and it's devouring Elder Fei's ghost territory. The other members tell the Elder to deal with the S-rank spirit while they will handle the others. Lin looked at the panda and said his materialized weakness has grasped by him long ago, and then he ordered Hua to kill him. She trapped the panda in her threads and then used her ghost fire to kill it. The system updated that for killing the S-rank evil spirit, he got 3,500 experience points, along with 1 ghost territory fragment called Ghost Bamboo. Elder Fei get confused, thinking, why did the ghost energy suddenly disappeared? Then, from inside the ghost territory, Lin and his spirits came out. They then killed all the spirits and were resting now. A ghost master informed the Elder that a total of 13 teams have died, including 5 ghost masters of rank A. Fei then thanked Lin, as if not for him, they would have far more casualties and death. Fei asked, according to what he heard, the Union sent 2 teams, so why only he came? Lin tells him that he is a lone special member and the official team has yet to arrive. Fei couldn't believe that this boy is not even an official member, yet he is so strong. And when the other ghost masters get to know that he is Lin Feng, they called him a genius. Fei praised him, saying when he heard that his hometown has ghost hordes, he came back right away. He really is responsible, and offers to be friends with him. Half an hour later, a member informed them that the ghost hordes are back and it's more ferocious than last time. He also added that according to the detection device, there is an S-rank spirit as well. But then he corrected himself, saying there are 2 of them. Fei thought they are in trouble, as his wounds hasn't fully recovered. They also lack manpower, so they definitely can't win. And then another ghost master came running and informed the Elder that the south side has sent news of ghost hordes appearing there too. They get too shocked to hear that the south side has a ghost horde as well and thought it's over. Fei then tells Lin to quickly ride his ghost horse and leave the place as it's too dangerous this time. He said a genius like him can't die, even if the whole Liu city gets destroyed, so leave the place to him and leave. He added, if they are sacrificed, then wait until he grows up, then take revenge for them. Lin tells the elder to wait and let him see clearly first. One of the S-rank spirit was Black Reaper, and the second spirit was White Reaper. He smiled, thinking there are many spirits along with those S-ranks, so he will gain a lot of experience. He asked the elder if he has any problem installing a S-rank spirit, and he replied he doesn't. Lin then tells him to stall one spirit and leave the rest to him. The elder tried to stop him, but Lin ignored his warning and dashed toward the spirits, thinking he will definitely win. The elder followed him and said if he is that confident, then he will accompany him. The other ghost masters were using the ammo to kill the B rank or lower spirits. Elder Fei went close to the White Reaper and activated his ghost territory. He was stalling the spirit, while his team members were defending him from the White Reaper's minions. The other masters were looking at Lin charging at the S-rank spirit and wondered why isn't he opening his ghost territory. Tong and Hua killed the spirits surrounding the Black Reaper, and then they went inside the enemy's ghost territory. And just as Lin expected, the Black Reaper spirit has 8 other evil spirits of rank A. He realized that those 8 spirits hasn't unleashed their ghost territory, so they must be waiting for Black Reaper's order. He thinks it's great, since he can just quickly kill them with speed. Lin said he will lure it, and ordered Hua to open her ghost territory and drag those 8 spirits into it. The masters who were watching him fight couldn't believe that Lin can open ghost territory inside an S-rank evil spirit's territory. They called him arrogant after realizing that Lin Ghost Spirits is planning on 2 versus 8. Inside Hua's territory, Tong easily killed all those 8 spirits before they could even use their ghost territories. But as Lin got distracted, Black Reaper attacked him from behind. Tong and Hua gets worried as they sense Lin getting attacked. Lin thought, luckily, this Arbor's physical attack reflect is very effective, otherwise he would have died. Lin then noticed the Black Reaper using a spell, but before he could attack again, he got covered in Hua's fog. She then summoned the sword and killed the evil spirit easily. Lin thought, her flash is indeed useful, and Ghost Sword can also instantly teleport to her hand, so she is too powerful. The system informed him that for killing a S-rank spirit, he get 3,800 experience points, 1 damage ghost equipment called Grab Soul Hook, and 2 ghost territory fragments. Meanwhile, the Elder Fei was having difficulty in dealing with the S-rank spirit because of the 8 spirits guarding it. Lin then entered the White Reaper's ghost territory and thought, even though the horse didn't shatter it, but it made his ghost territory produce flaws. Lin went near the Elder and he informed him that this spirit is stronger than him, so their chance for victory is slim. Lin checked Tong's status and saw that she just need 900 experience points for upgrade. She then killed 2 more spirits and the system updated that Tong can be upgraded too. Without wasting any time, Lin upgraded Tong. She also reached S rank after the upgrade, and Lin's body got strengthened by 5 times. The White Reaper was killing the Ghost Master's spirits, but then it stopped. Lin then informed Elder Fei that both his spirits have upgraded to S rank, so they can start the attack now. Fei gets shocked to hear that Lin has 2 S rank spirits now and wondered if it's so easy to get. He then ordered Hua to destroy White Reaper's ghost territory. And as soon as she did that, Tong attacked the White Reaper. But then, White Reaper fused the Papermans and formed into a larger evil spirit. Lin thought, now that it's trapped by Hua's ghost territory, so the ghosts captured by the cape can be of some use now, so he ordered them to eliminate the giant spirit. Hundreds of spirits attack the Reaper and start destroying it. Tong then attacked him and split the spirit in half. She then attacked the White Reaper, but he manages to block it. She then used her full power and killed him. Lin realized something is wrong, since the system never showed any notification. Elder Fei tells Lin that the spirit escaped and is currently 500 meters away from them. Lin used his eyes and saw him running and thought, as expected, it definitely has clone ability. Tong gets angry, but Lin tells her to let him go, as it's more important to defend the city. The Ghost Masters couldn't believe that a S-rank spirit ran after realizing it can't win, and Fei said, luckily this kid is with them. Fei then praised Lin and said he is the only person that he acknowledged in his entire life, as taming 2 S-rank spirits is unbelievable. He added that having a genius like him is humanity's honor and luck. Lin replied he is overpraising him, since compared to Fei, who has been guarding the area for many years, what he has done is nothing much. Then a member tells Lin and Fei that the south area's defense has fallen and the Ghost Horde has charged inside the Gold City. Lin thought Ghost Horde especially aimed for the weaker place, and each step is like a planned scheme to deal with Liu City. The other ghost masters asked Faye what they should do since their family is in the city. Faye said if they leave the area, it will only allow more ghost horde to enter, and then the city will be in an even more dangerous situation. Lin then suggested letting him go alone, as he can handle them, so everyone there agreed. Lin then dashed towards the city while thinking, this ghost horde is organized with tactics, so maybe he can find an answer inside the city. As Lin was going inside the city, he get a text from his classmate, asking if he is in the city. He was asking him to come and save them, as they are trapped in the shopping mall's basement, and there are too many evil spirits outside. Lin increased his pace after confirming that the ghost horde indeed entered the city. He reached the city and saw a ghost territory covering it. He thought, if a spirit can cover the whole outer city, then it must be of S rank or even higher. He entered the ghost territory and thought, it's so cunning, as it's easy to enter but hard to leave. Inside the central mall basement, Lin's classmate was telling the others that he sent the help request message, but there is a chance that brother Lin is not in the city. Also, this ghost horde is very ferocious, so he might not be able to deal with it. Meanwhile, Lin was at the shopping center, thinking it's so big, so it's hard to find his classmates. A boy then asked Jiang that her father is a high-rank master, so why didn't he come to save her? And she replied, he is fighting at the south defense line, and she is not able to contact him. They then heard someone knocking on the basement's door and wondered if it's Lin. But to their bad luck, it's an evil spirit, so they ran away from there. Meanwhile, Lin arrived in the basement and finds a woman and a boy shivering in fear. He then gets surprised after seeing the woman's face, as it was his mother who left him to die. 8 years ago, after being abandoned by his parents, he became a non-blood related family with Grandpa Hu and Tong Tong. Grandpa Hu did mechanical fixing, collecting and recycling jobs, and often helps the crippled people by creating mechanical limbs. Even though he wasn't good at house chores, he still took care of them. Although Tong was also an abandoned child, yet her personality was cheerful and lively, maybe because of Grandpa's influence. Despite them being poor, they enjoyed the family's warmth every day, and he almost forgot about his painful past. But one day, some ghost masters came to their shop and accused his grandpa of being a scammer. Grandpa tried to prove his innocence and said he was being framed. But they beat him up while saying, if a ghost master said he is a scammer, that means he is. Lin and Tong arrived there with the groceries and watched the ghost masters leaving after beating their grandpa. After the ghost masters left, his grandpa tells them that they were there to trick him so they can get his money, but it's not so easy. He then laughed it off while saying that even he doesn't know where did he put his money. Later at night, the ghost masters were talking about, even though the old man looks poor, but he did almost all the city's high reward works, so he must have made a lot. They were outside and then see the old man leaving his store. After he left, they destroyed the gate and start searching the store for the money. But Tong and Lin were inside the store, who asked, what are they doing? They searched the whole store, but only find some fragment silver. And then one of them suggested to take Tong with them, as they might get a few thousand if they sell her. Lin bites his arm to free Tong, but the man pushed him away. Lin gets collided with a wooden box and slowly lost consciousness. Then after some time, he was crying and said it's all his fault that he didn't protect Tong. But his grandpa tells him to not worry, as they will definitely save her. He tells his grandpa that those guys were talking about going to South City's factory. After a while, they reached outside the factory, and his grandpa tells him to go through the vent and see the inside, then come back. Inside a room, Lin noticed some guys who were holding Tong. They tied her up and were about to give her an injection. Suddenly, Lin dropped the knife he was holding, and the guys noticed that. They realized someone is inside the vent, and then one of them destroyed it, thus Lin fall on the ground. He noticed several women and wondered what that place is. That factory was Liu City's secret fertility factory. Their boss arrived there and asked about the commotion, so they tells him that they caught a trespasser. Lin gets shocked after looking at the boss and the nurse face, as they were his mother and father, who was hearing the sounds from inside the factory and realized that something bad has happened inside. Lin addressed them as mother and father, but his father hit him and said they are not his parents. Suddenly, they get alerted as someone destroyed the wall behind them. It was who said he won't let them bully kids. He then shouted at them to give him his granddaughter back. But the boss replied he bought her with money, and then he and his men fires at him. Who dodged them and tells Lin to take Tong and ran away from there. Lin and Tong ran towards the roof, and the boss ordered his men to chase after them. Tong and Lin then get cornered on the roof. Lin was telling Tong to not worry, as Grandpa will definitely save them. But then his father arrived and asked if he mean this useless old man, who begged him to let the kids go and he will offer everything he has. But the boss kicked him, saying he doesn't want money from poor people like him, and his only goal is to get a child with physic body. Lin's father then tells him and Tong to obediently come over, but then Grandpa who attacked him and scratched his face. Lin's father kicked him away and shoot at him, but the bullet pierced Tong's chest, who was trying to help her grandfather. And then, in front of Lin's eyes, both Grandpa Hu and Tong fall from the building. One man asked the boss what they should do with the kid, but Lin's mother stopped him from killing the boy. Lin's father tells his men to let the boy die by himself. The day Tong died, his grandpa has high paraplegia, but no one dared to help them. They tell them to be happy, that they even survived, and that was the day Lin realized that the human heart can be scarier than the evil spirits outside. After a while, his grandpa died too, so he went to an orphanage. He never befriended anyone and swears to become the strongest ghost master, stronger and higher than anyone. Back at present, his mother addressed him as Lord and begged him to save their lives. Lin realized that she can't recognize him since these 8 years he wasn't even a human to them. She said they were attacked by a ghost horde. Her leg is injured, so she brought this kid and hid there. Lin asked where her husband is, and she tells him when they were attacked by the evil spirits, he abandoned them and ran away. Lin thought if she is keeping this child even during danger, so he must have the talent they are satisfied with, and if he doesn't save them, then the child will become an orphan. Lin then gets a message from Yan that she sent a patrol tram to meet up with him, so he tells her to send them to the shopping center's back door. After a while, Lin take his mother and the child to the back door and handed them over to the ghost masters. Before leaving, his mother tells him that her husband is on floor 3 of the shopping center, so please save him as well. Lin said he abandoned them, so why she still want him to be saved? She replied, no matter how many mistakes he has made, he is still a family member. A few minutes later, Lin went to the basement and find his classmate's communication device, so he wondered if they managed to escape. He ordered Hua and Tong to kill the evil spirits there while he will go up and check. He then heard gunshots on the roof and realized that his father is there. Meanwhile, his father was shooting at the evil spirits when a spirit went inside him. Lin arrived, and his father begged him to save him, and in return, he will give him a lot of contribution points and a lot of gold. Lin thought, even after being possessed by an evil spirit, he still hasn't changed. He screamed that he doesn't want to die, and then he starts shooting at Lin as he was not saving him. The spirits then pushed him down the building and he died. After some time, Lin's classmate along with many other people were running to save their lives. They noticed a school bus where a man was telling the driver to quickly drive, as this is the only path to the east shelter. And then a high-rank evil spirit arrived and caused an earthquake. The bus was about to flip when a ghost train came and prevented it from flipping. Tong, Hua, and Lin attacked the spirit and killed it easily. The others couldn't believe that a high-rank spirit died just like that and wondered who that man is. They saw a man standing on the evil spirit, so they all starts cheering for him and call him their hero. Lin's classmate then recognized him and said, as expected of him. Lin then went close to the people and tell them to bring the injured ones along and follow him. Lin then ordered a ghost master to move the injured ones in the vehicle and send students at both sides. They then finally arrived at the east side city entrance. While everyone was going inside the shelter, Lin was thinking about how he never thought that there's such a structure inside the inner wall of the city. He then heard someone saying, "Thank you for helping this time." He turned around and find the leader Yan, who has finally arrived. After a while, they were inside the shelter and Lin asked about the situation. Yan replied, even though the city still has gold wall, but it can't block high-ranked evil spirits that fly and travel via underground. The outer city's south side wall got damaged too, which caused many part of the city to fall, leaving one base barely hanging on. She then sadly tells him that this ghost horde has caused over 1,000 ghost masters to die. The damage is just too large. She then asked him about the west side and how Elder Faye and the others are doing. Lin said he helped him get rid of 3S rank evil spirits, so they should be fine now. But Yan tells him to stop joking and asked if he is learning how to coax and trick girls. Suddenly, a ghost master arrived and reported that another S-rank evil spirit has arrived at the south side. Yan tells Lin to go with her as she is going to support the city lord, who is at the south side. Lin asked about the city lord and she said he barely shows himself, but he is a peak S-rank ghost master. After some time, in Liu City's south first defense line, the ghost masters were trying their best to stop the ghost horde. The city lord ordered them to not leave his ghost territory, they just need to stop the B-rank and higher rank evil spirits while waiting for the reinforcements. A ghost master came running and informed the lord that another S-rank spirit has entered from the west side. Meanwhile, Lin was telling Yan to grab on tight as his horse is very fast. He checked the tracking device and saw the S-rank spirit arriving. Lin saw the spirit and tells Yan that it's the white paperman who escaped before. She said it's great, since her ghost spirit has the same attribute, so if her spirit can absorb this S-rank spirit, she can also level up. Lin tells her that it's very fast and specializes in escape, so she needs to lure it first. Yan sends her paperman to attract its attention. And just as she expected, the White Reaper starts chasing her paperman so he can eat them. But he falls right into Lin's trap, who used Hua's suppression to stop it from using ghost territory, or clones to run away. And then Tong dashed towards the White Reaper and killed him in a single strike. And then Yan's spirit absorbed its remains to get powerful. Yan gets shocked after seeing that and realized that what Lin said before was true, and his two spirits are indeed at S-rank. Yan then gets a message saying South's first defense line has 4 S-rank spirits, so they need help. Meanwhile, the Ghost Masters fighting saw a strange mirror in the sky. They check the tracking device and get shocked to see an orange light there. They realized it hid until now, making use of this ghost horde to successfully become an abyss-rank evil spirit. Lin asked Yan, what does the change from purple to orange mean? She replied that the orange color is an abyss-rank evil spirit, which shocked him. Meanwhile, the ghost mirror abyss-rank evil spirit appeared and was laughing evilly. The city lord knows that they don't have anyone in their team who can deal with this ghost mirror. A member then came and informed him that the leader Yan and Lin Feng has arrived. Yan arrived and asked the lord if he has any plan of defeating this abyss-rank spirit. He points at a mirror and said this mirror didn't participate in the battle before, but it evolved here, which means it has obtained combat experience from other evil spirits. Lin said it seems like the mastermind of this ghost horde is the ghost mirror, and the city lord agrees with him. Yan knows that defeating it will be the key to stop the ghost horde, but she wondered that as an abyss-rank evil spirit, why didn't it open ghost territory? The city lord sighed and said it's because the whole city is covered by its ghost territory. Yan gets shocked after hearing that and said then there is no way they can do anything. The lord said retreat is impossible, and if it wants to kill the whole city's innocent people, it will only take a few minutes, so their best plan is to last until reinforcements arrive. He added, it just evolved, so it's considered the weakest rank one among the abyss rank's evil spirits, so they might stall it. He continued that its territory normal size should be of only inner city. For a abyss rank 1 evil spirit, it's way too large. So according to him, its other state must be weaker to reach the balance. He tells Yan and Lin to find its weakness, so they can deal with it, and they said okay to it. Lin tells Yan to handle the east side, while he will handle the west side, as dealing with those 3 S rank comes first. Lin reached near the spirits and thought these 3 should be hard to handle. But then to his surprise, the 3 spirits become 6 S ranks. He then realized that it's the ghost mirror's ability. He thought if it's his illusion, then he just needs to find the main body. Yan's enemy was also increased by 1, so she ordered her spirit Zio to test their powers. Her spirit clashed with the other 2, and to Yan's surprise, both spirits were real. The other ghost masters reported that the ghost horde increased, as all the spirits were cloned as well. Yan informed everyone that the ghost mirror's ability isn't an illusion, and then she ordered every ghost master to come to the south defense line to help. Lin got the message and said, which means these S-rank clones have the same combat ability as the real one. Yan was running around while thinking, this ghost mirror's ability directly makes the ghost horde twice the original amount, but if he can find a weakness, they might have some hope. Meanwhile, Lin said rather than slowly finding weakness, it will be easier to just kill them all. He then opened Hua's ghost territory, and Tong starts killing the spirits. But to his surprise, even after killing a S-rank spirit, the system only gave him the experience points, not any rewards. But when Hua killed the other spirit, he got the experience points as well as the rewards. Lin realized that Ghost Mirror's clone might have some condition missing, like item, ghost energy, or status. He tells Tong to open the ghost eye and see if she can find out which is the main body, and then kill it first. She opened her eye and killed the original body this time, which means it can be recognized. And as the main body died, the clone also disappeared. Inside Zio's ghost territory, Yan also managed to kill both the S-rank spirits. A ghost master happily tells the Lord that Lin Feng and Yan are amazing, as they killed 6 S-rank evil spirits. Suddenly, the Lord starts coughing blood and said his ghost territory won't last long. The ghost master then informed Lin and Yan that the city lord will explicit, so quickly come and help. Lin entered the city lord ghost territory and gets shocked to see that it's completely changed into the mirror world. He saw that even the city lord's ghost spirit are cloned. But then he realized something, but it was already too late. Tong and Hua got cloned as well. The Lord tells Lin to be careful, as this mirror can clone and ghost spirit, including their special ability. Lin then ordered Tong and Hua to not use any special ability and directly attack. Lin then put the horse back in the inventory, thinking it will be bad if it's used to deal with the city lords or his own territory. Lin then tells Yan to not enter as there's a trap inside, and when he will figure out the law, he will inform her, so she said okay to it. Inside, Tong and Hua killed all their clones easily without using any special ability, so Lin thought the ghost mirror combat ability isn't too strong. But the city lord tells him to not underestimate the enemy, as the first wave was just used to test power. And then Tong and Hua's clones were generated again. And this time, their combat ability was close to his ghost spirits. But as the ghost weapons can't be cloned perfectly, Tong and Hua killed them again. The Lord tell Lin that his territory is about to be destroyed, so Lin ordered Hua to open a similar size ghost territory. Lin then ordered Hua to use ghost fire, and Tong to use mutated form to see how far it can clone them. And as they were killing the clones again and again, the clone time was getting longer each time, so Lin thought it's a huge exhaustion for the ghost mirror. The clones generated again, but just as Lin expected, the ghost weapons can't get cloned. Lin knows that the ghost mirror was hiding nearby. That's how he can use his clone ability again and again. Lin then ordered his spirits to use full power and eliminate all the clones. The Lord thought Lin's ghost spirits have so many forms and wondered just who is he. Hua used her ghost fire and kill all the clones, including the city lord ones. Lin then ordered Tong to use her ghost eye and find the ghost mirror real body. Tong find its location and attacked it, but he manages to run away. Lin thought Ghost Mirror's territory is way too large, so it can hide at any place. He then ordered Hua to use double territory. And as she destroyed Ghost Mirror's territory, it tries to run away from there, but Hua appeared behind him and killed him easily. The system updated that for killing an Abyss rank spirit, he got 6,000 experience points, 1 Ghost Mirror, and 2 Ghost Territory fragments. Lin was happy, thinking, in this trip, he gained more than 20,000 experience. Yan arrived in a hurry and asked if the Ghost Mirror died already. The Lord praised Lin and said, thanks to him, they obtained victory this time. Then a ghost master points at the evil spirits and said, the ghost horde is also retreating. After some time, everyone was praising Lin for saving the city and their lives. His mother was also there, and gets shocked to know that this ghost master was her son, Lin. The boy asked her if she know this big brother, and she replied no. She thought she is not fit to be his family member from long ago, and then she tells her son to always remember that Lin Feng saved their lives. And if there's a chance in the future after he grows up, he must repay Lin Feng, and the boy replied yes, he will. Lin asked the city lord what he should do with this ghost mirror, but he smiled and tells him to keep it for himself, as he is the one who contributed the most, and also added that he will hold a celebration ceremony tonight to thank him. Lin was trying to refuse, but Yan tells the Lord to not worry, as she will make sure to bring him there. After some time, Lin was sitting alone when Yan went close to him. She saw him looking sad, so she asked if there is anything troubling him. Lin replied, since young, he wanted to become a strong ghost master, let those people who look down on him regret, but they don't even remember him now. So in the end, he is still just alone. Yan asked what is he saying, as his loved ones are always by his side. she said. His ghost spirit accompanied him for 15 years, and even though they can't speak, but the spirits protects them. They shouldn't be used as tools, they have a bond with them. They are like friends caring for each other. So don't ever say again that he is alone when he already has 2 ghost spirits, and of course, she is well. She said she still expects him to protect her in the future and bring her around the world. Meanwhile, High City's reinforcements team was on their way to Lu City. Their leader Zhang, a ghost master of Earth Fiend rank, finds it weird that there were no ghosts along the way. General Yang replied he saw on Lu City's local forum that the ghost horde has retreated. Zhang was shocked to know that the ghost horde retreated so quickly and asked if any strong ghost master came to help Lu City. Another member tells them a ghost master called Lin Feng defeated an abyss rank spirit, then they obtained victory. General Yang said that a while ago there was a genius in High City by that name, and the third miss seems to like him. Meanwhile, in Liu Ru private mansion, she was watering the flowers when a maid came running to tell her something. She tells her that Lin Feng made the Lu City's ghost horde retreat with his power, and the news has spread across the whole city. Liu gets shocked after hearing that Lin defeated an abyss rank evil spirit and thought his growth speed is way too shocking. She knows if she can't grasp such a genius, then she might never be able to grow. Her maid tells her to not worry, as not only she is a beauty, but in future she will become the High City Lord, so he will be tempted. Liu gets flustered while saying, but he is just a 15 years old boy. The maid also added that High City's few families have been competing. If they guess that mispicked Lin Feng, it will be bad for him. Then later at night, Lin and Yan reached the Lu City's Lord Mansion. Inside, Lin met with Elder